So, who are we? We are problem solvers, providing the highest quality service and results. We are a team of skilled professionals, focused on customer needs and outcomes. We are 23 years of industry experience.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Barrios, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
And we're away. Bit of a late start this week. I think Lockie got into too many of the Christmas chocolates and we had to carry him off in an ambulance. But Josh Parish and Nick Hughes here. A little bit of a new look for us, but very much looking forward to today's program, Nick. Who have we got coming up?
It's a big one. We've got the main man, the form man at the moment for Western United, Connor Payne, straight off the top. He's banging him in at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 games, 2 goals, 2 match-winning goals. And then after that, we'll be speaking to Caleb, Western United superfan, who's got some interesting new ink that I'm sure will be very interesting to chat about.
Absolutely. We're also going to test his knowledge. So he claims to be a big Western United fan. We're going to put that to the test. We've got FNR's champion quizzer with us here in the studio. He hasn't seen the questions, so we're going to give Caleb the chance to answer, and then Nick Hughes, it's a bit like the chaser. You're sitting in the booth with a kind of poker face on, trying to chase him down. So looking forward to that. But first, as you mentioned, the informed man scored the winner on the weekend against Adelaide United in another 1-0 triumph. Impenetrable defending at the moment, and that crucial goal coming from his less favoured right boot. Connor Payne, welcome to the Green Room, mate.
Hey guys, pleasure to be here.
It's absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I don't think any of the Adelaide United defenders expected you to cut onto your right foot there, but looks like you've been doing some work on your swinger there.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they should, because when I was at Mariners, I scored one on their patch with my right foot as well. So I don't know, maybe they were just underestimating me a little bit. But it was good when it went in.
So you've been converted to a left wing back and then back to a winger this season. Are you relishing the opportunity to get a bit further forward like the old days?
Yeah, it's been an interesting one. Obviously, when the boss came in, he sort of let me know that was what he sort of saw, and I'm sort of happy to play anywhere down that left side in particular. I enjoyed the 2 years at wing back, but it's been a nice change so far.
And you scored an absolute worldie in Geelong against Brisbane Roar the other week. That volley that I think you had to jump to get the purchase on it, but that one flew into the top corner. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it was good because it was one of those games where the first half I think we could have had 3 or 4 and been clear, and it was starting to get a bit frustrating, and we knew that the chance would come. And lucky for me, Lockie sort of put in a peach of a ball that you don't get much time to think about, and they're sometimes the best ones, and nicely nestled in the corners. So I was pretty pleased.
It actually reminded me of a goal Robin van Persie scored back in the day. I don't know if you remember it, Hughes.
He loved a jumping volley.
Yeah, it's that awkward height where it's sort of knee-thigh height and you have to jump to get a hold of it, but it flew in off your foot, mate.
Let's not draw too many.
Actually, yeah, there we go. We're back. We're back. We've had some tech issues here at the studio, so the problem might be on our end. There's a bit of construction going on next door. There's a bit of construction going on down the road as well. Western United making some headway on their new stadium. Connor, just how excited would you be to play in the new venue once it's built?
Yeah, it would be great, obviously, to get that one all finished, and hopefully I'm still around by the time that comes to fruition. So yeah, everyone's looking forward to that sort of thing.
Is it something that I guess the group sort of thinks about? Talk about being a young club, being very ambitious. Everyone that we've had on this show in the past few weeks have said it, particularly the new guys that have come in have said that one of the key points or the key reasons why they wanted to come here was because of the ambition shown in the conversations that they had. Is that something that the group sort of thinks about, taking those steps and then with that goal to reach that stadium and I guess make that a fortress out in the West?
Yeah, obviously, because I've been here a couple of years now, so it was sort of definitely in my thinking when I was joining the club, and I've seen no reason for that to change. So, the people they're bringing in and the ambition that everyone in the dressing room has, hopefully to manage to win something before the stadium's built. But if not, just for that to come to fruition all around the same time would be great. So, we've got a lot of good people at the club and a lot of people with a lot of high ambition.
You've been a day one Western United player, round one, got that assist for Bessart Barisha in the first game. Just how have you seen the progress that the club has made over the time that you've been there?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, any club that's new has their teething problems, and we were no different. But obviously, it was great to hit that round one flying with a win away at Wellington, which doesn't happen too often. But it's just been sort of growing from strength to strength and getting the right people in the club, and all that is a process. But I think we're really happy with where we're at and where we're going.
Obviously, you, I guess, made your name in the A-League and broke through with Melbourne Victory, arguably the biggest club in the A-League and certainly a huge face in Melbourne. Then making that jump to the new club, the one that's expanding through Melbourne and through Victoria now. What were some of the differences, some of the challenges joining that new club compared to some of the things that you'd been used to?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where you came in and everything we needed was pretty much there already. So it was a different experience, not necessarily what I expected, with an expansion team and things that have a lot of moving parts, get everything going in the right direction. But, we had a great little training ground there at Caroline Springs, and, we walked through the door the first day and the professionalism was already there to be seen. So to be honest, there was absolutely nothing to complain about.
And you mentioned Victory there, of course, this week's opponents, a former club of yours, Connor. It must mean a lot when you come up against the Victory.
I don't think anything of it personally, to be honest. Obviously, it was great. I had a great time there and enjoyed playing there. But that's a fair few years ago now. I just think with all the fans and stuff at the back, and you saw in the derby last weekend how loud they were and stuff. I think that sort of sets the tone for a big game on the pitch. So I think that's generally what everyone's really looking forward to. And I don't think anything personally of it.
You don't have that little burning desire inside you to prove them wrong for letting you go, or don't get the big Graham Arnold, you didn't want him?
Not really, no. I that ran through my mind when I was on the coast a little bit. But I think too much time has passed to really be thinking about that now.
Yeah, right. So what motivates you as a footballer? What kind of player are you mentally? Because some players, they've got that, me versus the world mentality. Some of them are more intrinsically motivated. What gets you getting up in the morning and training hard?
Yeah, look, I don't really know. I'm sort of a pretty chilled out guy, and I think you've had a fair few of the boys on here that are that sort of type of person. So, I think I obviously like to just show up and just leave everything out there and take things day by day. I don't really see the whole world against me card as a thing. That's probably just my mentality. I just try and enjoy every day as much as possible, really.
Talk about leaving everything out there. We've had, who have we had from the attacking contingent? Lockie Wales, Dylan Wenzel-Halls, Alexander Prijovic as well. And we've asked each of them, or Josh and Lockie more accurately, have asked each of them about the competition for places up front. Now, obviously, you've transitioned to play more frequently now on that left wing. So what's your view on that competition for places? And is there any, friendly bets or anything behind the scenes for who can score the most goals or get the most assists or anything like that?
Obviously the competition's really healthy. We've got a good mix of experienced boys as well as some really good kids that are up and coming as well. So, if you're not switched on every day, it's, there might be someone sort of down you trying to get your spots. So that part of it's really great. I think that's the key to having a winning team, is that healthy competition where, your spot's not guaranteed. And in terms of the bet, I don't know if you've heard, but Dylan Wenzel-Halls and Diamanti normally have a bit of a bet going on in training. Literally, it's that smaller thing. Like, it's not about, who's going to get the most goals for the year or anything like that, but it's literally like him versus him. Whoever scores the most goals in that session at the end of training wins. And I don't know what sort of prizes they're giving out to each other, but I think, if I'm not wrong, I think Dia has the edge on him at the moment. But that's ongoing. That's every week. So.
Wow. So you don't know what the stakes are? Because we had an NPL club on here telling us that 2 players had a bet going for goals during the season and the loser had to dye their hair blonde.
Yeah, I don't think it's as extreme as that. I think it might be more of a financial thing, but I'm not too sure. I'll stay clear of that.
That beats my question. I was going to say, you ever get involved in that? Obviously, you haven't necessarily been a huge goal scorer throughout your career, but a brilliant start to this campaign with 2 goals in 5 games. You're not, reminding Lockie Wales that he's yet to get off the mark?
No, because I'd really like for him to get off the mark as well, and for us to just keep scoring goals in general.
Yeah, we got most of that. Sorry. A bit flaky. Audio's a bit flaky today. Might be on our end, Connor.
What are your goals for this season and the goals for the group more generally?
Sorry, do you want to ask that one again?
What are the goals for you this season and the goals for the group more generally?
It's sort of like going back to the whole not setting too many goals. Just hang on, I'm just messing around with this thing. There we go. All right. Yeah, sort of like for me personally, it's just about taking every day, like I said, as it comes. And for us, I think it's not about putting a definite target on where we want to finish. It's just about trying to get used to the way we want to play. And we've still got a lot of improving to do in that regard. And then just trying to accumulate as much points and as possible and just see where it takes us, really. So it's a fairly broad aim. It's not like we're going to say we want to win the league or do this or that. We just want to play some really good stuff. And then if you know that if you do that right and you do it well, then you'll climb that table.
And does that come from John Aloisi? Have you connected with his kind of view on football and his outlook? Because from the players we've talked to so far and the people at the club, it seems like John's personality has really resonated and created a really harmonious and collaborative atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. His personality is very infectious. He knows what he wants, but he's also happy to, smile and have a bit of fun along the way. So he knows that his vision is really clear and we know what's expected of us. And I think that's the best way that you can sort of run a football club. So that's definitely come from him. And also he's brought Hayden Fox in as well. That's sort of definitely onto the boys about little habits as well. So, it's all coming together nicely so far.
Yeah, a lot of the guys have been shouting out Hayden Fox in the last few weeks since the season started, and particularly on the defensive end. There's obviously been a lot of talk about the back line at the moment, not yet conceded from open play. Leo Lacroix's come in and looked fantastic, but in multiple post-match press conferences, we've heard John Aloisi stress that it's not just the back four and the goalkeeper, or it's not just, Neil Kilkenny or whoever's playing that holding midfield role, but the defensive effort really comes from all 11 players on the pitch. So as an attacker yourself and as someone who has previously played in, I guess, a more defensive-minded position, how much importance do you take personally to your own defensive responsibilities?
Yeah, I think that's one of the good things about having played back there. You can appreciate the work that these fullbacks have to do. And I think it's true with what he says. It's sort of the defence, you defend from the front as well. So, you got to, he's sort of whipped us into to realise that you got to get back into shape and help out at the back as well. At the front of the back. But yeah, so putting pressure on the ball, cutting passing lanes, this sort of thing. So it's definitely an element of the game that's fairly new to me in terms of how structured we need to be up there. So I think it is a collective effort, but like you said, you can't really go past what the boys at the back have been doing there. They've been unbelievable. So they've been the reason why we can push on and win games when we've not really scored any more than one in any particular game. So, I think credit has to go to those guys as well.
What's playing with Diamante like? Is he a kind of general on the field? Does he order you around, or does he just lead by example? Because I see a lot of hand gestures, but that might be just him talking to the ref.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I think he knows what he wants as well, so that we can get the best out of him, and he obviously asks things of you so that we can get the best out of ourselves. So it's a little bit of both. Obviously, I know him quite well now, so I think we have a fairly good relationship with all that sort of stuff. So, but it's good. It's good to have him out there, and also you got Neil Kilkenny behind him as well, who's been a really, really, really important part of helping me improve as well in that defensive shape too, because he sort of helps me, almost like another coach on the field. And I think he's been really, really good for me personally and for the team collectively.
I mean, you can see it with Killer out there, the communication and the experience that he has. I mean, that's bags of experience over in England, playing in high-stakes games for Leeds United and so forth. So there's quite a lot of impressive entries on the CVs of your teammates this season. You look at the foreign players that have been brought in, your Prijović's, Leo Lacroix's looking like a bit of a Rolls Royce of a central defender. Who's the toughest opponent that you have to come up against as a direct opponent in training?
In training, it's going to have to be probably Leo, just because they have big ears. So well, but you could outdo him, and then he's like, just a leg comes out of nowhere, and you're like, hey, where'd that come from? Kind of thing. So Leo, or just again Killer, because he's just everywhere as well. So one of those players you think you're clear of, and he sort of just comes back for more. And also you've got to say Josh Risdon too. He's an absolute animal. So I think we've starting to see the absolute best of him at Western as well. Touchwood with all the injuries and stuff. So he's absolutely flying at the moment too. So he's definitely a tough one to get past.
I was going to touch on Rizzo. I mean, that was such an awful injury that he suffered, that freak kind of bone infection, was it? I know I don't want to get into the gross details of it, but it must have been tough for him watching on from the sidelines, and you guys as well, knowing you had a Socceroos caliber player just with this run of bad luck.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's obviously, you guys would have met him. He's one of the best guys you'll meet as well. So losing that on the pitch as well, and in that regard, is also it's a tough ask. But I think it's just testament to him the way he's come back, because he never really had a time frame on these things, because it was so obscure and weird, a type of injury, that it was sort of just see how you go. And I just think it's great to have him back and then playing so well.
And not only has he come back and been playing well, as you mentioned, but he's also come in that leadership role as the vice captain. Has there been any sort of change to the relationship with him as vice captain? With him taking on that leadership role.
Well, he definitely helps out with the fines and all that sort of stuff. He's surprised me, Riz. He's turned into a guy that can get things done if he needs to, in that sort of sense. He's such a laid back guy, but if someone is late, or if they don't pay their fines on time, you have him to deal with, as well as Ryan Scott. So I wouldn't want to be paying late or any of that stuff around those two.
It seems like Ryan Scott keeps everybody honest, whether it's fines or a bit of banter on the training ground if you miss a sitter, I imagine.
Definitely.
So what does the next few weeks look like for you guys? Playing on Boxing Day, so when's your Christmas?
Yeah, I've been asking the club the same question, to be honest. I've been asking that same question to the league for, 10 years. So I feel like it might just be a quick drive down to my parents' place after training and just have a nice lunch and then get home to bed. So, it's one of the sacrifices. Like for me, it's not a massive deal to miss out on Christmas to be able to play in a big game on Boxing Day, but I can imagine for some people it would be.
And what about managing the current situation with COVID and everything? Everyone's a bit nervous. There's been games getting cancelled and postponed. We've seen some cup games that were going to go ahead, about now that aren't happening tonight. Yeah. How are the playing group feeling and what kind of measures do you guys have to take to live with that situation at the moment?
Yeah, I guess we're no different in the sense that everyone's a little bit concerned, I would say. It's obviously just not great to hear any news about this sort of stuff when we thought we were sort of clear of it all. But, yeah, in terms of what we're doing, we've done a lot of we do those tests every morning, the instant tests, and then we've had a fair few PCRs as well in the last couple of weeks as well. So, we're just doing everything we can in the testing sense as well as just trying to be sensible as possible off the pitch just to try and keep these games going because it's what we all want to do.
Yeah, and it seems as if Western United during that bubble season managed that experience in the bubble a little bit better than some of the other teams, just based on the football you guys were playing and the results you were getting on the field.
Yeah, I think part of that might obviously be because we were in Coogee. That was nice. That always helps. But yeah, that year was great because we sort of all just got together and, we had a lot of, it's not dissimilar to what we have this year with all the boys getting around each other and the coaching staff as well and sort of that spirit that we sort of managed to find somewhere. Because I remember we were right on the precipice of making finals or not, and I think we won 7 in 8 or something pretty crazy like that. So we went on a really good run. And I think that just comes down to how close we were as a group, mainly.
Yeah, a key part of that, the close to season one was, I think it was 6 in 7, 2 3-match winning streaks, split in the middle with a defeat. Obviously, we've gone one better now with 4 wins in a row. How much confidence is the group taking now that I guess we've made a bit of history for the club with the first ever 4-match winning streak?
Yeah, for sure. It's great. Obviously, we've still got a lot to improve on. We know that we haven't been great in all of those games. And the irony is we probably played our best stuff when we actually lost, which is the first game of the season. So, I think we take a lot of confidence out of our resilience and things like that. But we know as a team we have to get better and we will. So it's not a bad place to be considering we haven't seen our best yet.
Absolutely. And this run of clean sheets is unbelievable. Are you guys ever going to concede another goal? The defence seems invincible out there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. But
yeah, knocking all the wooden surfaces in the studio. It's just phenomenal the run that you're on. But John Aloisi's been saying that the attack's going to improve. The attack's going to improve. We want to play attacking football. We're not a defensive-minded side. But you still must take a lot of confidence out of the fact that, if you score a goal, you're probably going to win the game.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, that's massive. And I think it goes back to the sort of the age-old adage sort of thing that defence wins your championships. So, I think that's really, really important in this day and age, especially just in the A-League and in football in general. So it definitely makes it a lot easier knowing, and it probably almost relaxes the guys up front a little bit more knowing that, there's just not too much pressure on getting too many goals, you know what I mean? So it sort of becomes more fluid, and I think that's when the goals will start coming.
You talk about winning championships and clean sheets and goals coming. We've got a question on the Facebook live stream from Joey Lynch, good friend of FNR. Ask your thoughts on the club adding an A-League women's team in the future. I'm not sure how much or if any at all of the Nike FC Cup final that you caught on Sunday. Obviously a great partnership that the club has with Calder United, a 3-0 win against South Melbourne, winning the 4th straight A-League, A-League Women's, the 4th straight Nike FC Cup. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on, I guess, the adding an A-League Women's team and also the academy continuing to grow as well?
Yeah, I think it's really, really important, obviously, to get the women's side of the game at our club up and running. And I'm fairly confident. In fact, I'm sure that that's definitely in the process, and they're trying their best to get the team in as soon as possible. And obviously the academy system as well. It's great. Like, every club is going towards more of that European model where people have a definitive pathway, somewhere where you can go as a kid and learn the way of a club, the culture and everything, all the way up through to the first team. And it's something that I think we could have done well with when we were sort of coming through. It's a bit different when I was sort of growing up with jumping around sort of clubs in the NPL system before the NPL system, the Super Leagues and things like that. So I think it would definitely help a lot to sort of streamline that process.
I mean, you played in the National Youth League quite a bit, didn't you, for Victory back in the day? Is that correct?
Yeah, I played a fair bit at the start, and I was sort of only one season because I was a bit older when I not a bit older, I was 19 when I ended up making my debut, but there were some kids in there in that youth team from 16 and 17. So I think I played 3/4 of that youth league season before making my debut and then signing professional after that.
Because it seemed to me that for the league as a whole, and, you know, FFA were running it beforehand, and now it's transitioned to the APL, and we haven't seen what new form that league is going to take. It's always seemed to me like a little bit of an afterthought. Like, there could be more done with that competition to give more opportunities for the young players to play against the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was lucky because when I was in there, it seemed to be important, and I'm not sure where it sits on the agenda of things and stuff. I'm not really into all that sort of stuff. But we were flying around the country and playing against the other youth leagues, the youth league sides, and that was an amazing experience for me, coming from never being exposed to the system, I suppose, and it was never in state teams or the NTCs of Victoria or anything like that. So for me to get that exposure personally was great, and I can only speak from my experiences, but if we could get back to anything resembling that, I think it would be great for the young guys coming up.
Because we spoke to Anthony Frost the other week, and he's the new academy director coming in for next year, adding more teams to the club's youth ranks. And this sort of thrown together NPL 3 side that you guys had last season that did really well, given the short turnaround time from inception to the first game. In line for promotion or competing for that up at the end of the season and above Victory and City in the table. And you're now seeing some of those young guys break into the first team picture. I mean, imagine what can be done with a little bit more time and investment in that program. Tell us about some of the young guys that are coming through the academy that have impressed you.
Yeah, there's been a fair few now. Obviously, just from personal experience, I think these kids sort of do really well with playing in a men's competition, where there's teams with the men's kind of tactics and, they play that sort of way. And I was exposed to that at 16, which was at Melbourne City Football Club, which was great for me. So the kids coming up, they're almost, obviously they're still learning and stuff, but their sort of body's ready and they're ready to jump straight into first team training. So one in particular is definitely Ben Collins. He's done really, really well. And when he first came to the club, I remember where he was at and things like that, and he's improved out of sight. And I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how he's done such a good job so quickly, and can't speak more highly of him as a person and as a bloke as well. Obviously got Adisu in there that's really, really technical and can take on players and things like that. And Reece Bosanowski as well. I think I'm not sure how much of the NPL he played. I think he's sort of come across from another club in the same competition, but he's been a really, really good acquisition as well.
I mean, that's phenomenal, the improvement that we've seen out of Ben. We interviewed him the other week, and he's very grown up for his age. He seems a little bit older than, what is he, 19, 20?
I think he's my age, 21.
21, okay. But he seems like a seasoned pro. He's got that kind of future captain energy about him, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? He sits really close to me in the dressing room, so we have a good chat a fair few times, just about everything, and he's definitely got a good head on those shoulders. So,
is that something that you, I guess, are taking on now as you get further into your career, trying to have a little bit more influence with some of the younger guys?
Yeah, to an extent. It was probably, like sort of when we were growing up, I remember it was kind of pretty hard. Like, it was kind of probably end of the old generation where it was pretty tough to come into a dressing room and earn your place. But I think now that us boys are kind of a bit older, sort of trying to make them feel as comfortable as possible just to be themselves and express themselves. So that's sort of the way I've been trying to look at it. But yeah, I just treat them all as my mates, really, and just try and help where I can.
Well, you're certainly expressing yourself on the pitch at the moment, mate. Two winners in a row. Are you going to make it 3 on the weekend against your former club?
I mean, hopefully. Obviously, it would be nice. It's sort of 2 really good opportunities that I managed to take in the last couple of weeks, and I'll just be getting in the right areas. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I said before, hopefully I'll set up old mate Wellesley as well. So that's sort of the goal too, because he rats around like no tomorrow. So he deserves to go off the mark. And but I don't have to score as long as we get the points. That's all that really matters.
Well, Connor, best of luck over the weekend. Have a great Christmas as well, however modest the celebrations are as a professional athlete, and stay safe. And we'll check in with you later on in the season.
Will do. No worries, guys. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to Connor Payne,
Connor.
and Merry Christmas to all the Western United fans tuning in. We're going to take a short break and speak to one of those fans, Nick. Caleb Trimble, who has a very special tattoo, is going to join us for a Western United Super Quiz. So stay with us here on The Green Room, presented by Simonds.
Now Tudor's gone down for Newcastle. Radford again. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Radford the scorer. Ronnie Radford. And the crowd are invading the pitch. And now it will take some time to clear the field. What a tremendous shot by Radford.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
They try to open up the Dutch via another route. Iniesta's in the middle all alone. If Fernando Torres can find him, it's stabbed away uncomfortably to Fabregas. Surely now, Spain have won the World Cup for the first time in history. Andres Iniesta has broken Dutch hearts.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
With this great sporting nation who has yet to embrace fully the world's greatest game, and for so long of trying to have the game accepted. And when I'm up to the big football field in the sky, I just want people just to remember I told you so.
And suddenly the complexion of the game changes. Let's hope it doesn't, but this is the best period for Iran in the match.
Ali Doi, danger for Australia here, the flag's down! It's an equaliser!
You just feel for them, not just the boys, they are representative of so many people who make this game their life. It's just, I can't say anything.
All right. Especially as they have the impetus. Aloisi, Cahill, Tim Cahill has done it again! What a goal by Tim Cahill! 2-1
wonderful moment in Kaiserslautern. And Tim Cahill has come off the bench and maybe won the match for the Socceroos.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Blanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Blanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Blanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Parish, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamanti again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
And we're back here on the Green Room on FNR Football Nation Radio, streaming on the Western United Facebook page as well. This show presented proudly by Simonds Homes, the great Australian builder. And we are delighted to be joined now by a Western United superfan. He also co-hosts the All Out West podcast, Caleb Trimble. Welcome to the Green Room.
Thanks, Nick and Josh, for having me. Glad to be on.
It's an absolute pleasure. Tell us about your Western United journey, and your jersey. You're wearing a jersey as well. Tell us about your jersey.
All right, the jersey's the first one from the FFA Cup game. Got it from Dalibor Markovic. So quick shout out to him. I know a few of the fellas and the kids as well got jerseys that game, since we probably won't be needing them again. But yeah, everyone was stoked to get those. But the journey anyway, I'm born and bred Werribee, Wyndham, 4th, 5th, 6th generation, that type of thing. So as soon as there was a club coming into our backyard, I was straight onto it. So following from the early days of the Western Melbourne group and seeing where they headed, and then once we actually got the licence, it was really good to see, not just for myself as a football fan, but for everybody in the area, of Wyndham and the west of Melbourne, just to see that we're going to have our own stadium and that we've got our own football club out here that can represent us all.
Absolutely fantastic. And tell us about your experiences. Have you been in amongst the active support? Do you prefer to observe the game from a higher vantage point? What's the go there?
Yeah, no, definitely right in the active support. Made a fair few good friends in there as well. We were a couple of the first ones that had a few meetings and worked out a couple of chants at the beginning, and went along to the first few pre-season games at St George Cross, which was really good fun to meet people, create banners. So I definitely like getting in the active, even though I understand if people want to watch the game a little bit more, because you do miss a little bit.
Quick. All right, we are back.
Oh, we're back.
We had a few tradies working next door. I think they might have nicked something, and now we've got some in and out audio tonight. So we do apologise for that. We're going to make sure it's fixed up over the festive period. But it's been a little bit flaky. We've had a few dropouts. Talk about actually starting active support from scratch and coming up with those chants and that kind of experience, because I imagine that's pretty unique. You get to be the first ones who sing the songs that end up being sung, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line potentially.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity, something that myself and a few friends and then other people I've met along the way really wanted to be a part of. It was, we wanted to create a good atmosphere and identity for the club. So it began with just a couple of guys made a Facebook group, asked around, invited people that were in other Facebook groups who had liked Western United on social media and said, look, who would like to get an active support going? And then over time, more and more people jumped on, more and more people came along to games. It was just a matter of us trying out a few chants, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't, seeing what stuck, seeing what everyone liked, because we don't want to be a proper dictatorship as well. We like everybody to have a bit of input too. So we like a lot of people having a go on the megaphone and that sort of thing. So it happened a lot more organically than I thought it would, which was really nice to see as well, because you don't want to be pushing things onto people, especially when you're meant to be there just for the love and the passion and the fun.
There seems to be a great relationship with the players as well between the playing group and that active support, particularly on this winning run that we're on at the moment. A lot of appreciation post game. I know Ryan Scott's a big favourite, and he often gets on the megaphone and does that sort of back and forth chant behind the goal. How special is that connection with the playing group and the active support?
Well, it probably spurs both sets on, the players and the fans. It spurs us on to do our best for them, because we can tell how much they enjoy and love it, and they want to give back to us that are there in and out, supporting every single week, promoting the club and doing what we can to try and make us as big and successful as possible.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see it slowly grow and grow, and I mean, the club, I think, have tried to accelerate things with a few initiatives. Notably, the most outlandish of which is the pyrotechnics that have been going off and giving us in the media box a heart attack every time they do. Are you a fan of the safe smoke and the fireworks?
I'm a big fan of it, but I'll have to admit it's terrified me on a few occasions when I haven't expected it as well. But I do like it. I think it adds to the atmosphere, especially for people who wouldn't go to the sport as often. They come along and they can see a smoke and fire show as well. So it adds to the whole atmosphere of the game. I understand how it can give you a bit of a fright though.
It's not when we're not paying attention. It's because everybody's writing up their match reports in the press box and looking at their laptops, and then suddenly something explodes right of frame. We think we're under attack. But if you're actually in the active end, I imagine it's a lot of fun. So shall we get into it then? I mean, we might get you to reveal your tattoo at the end. We'll leave that as a tease because that's a great one. But this quiz, you've got some stiff competition today. I've written the questions. Don't you dare peek, Nick Hughes. Don't you dare peek. We can't have any allegations of cheating on this. Otherwise, there'll be uproar on the next edition of the All Out West podcast.
Nick Tabano cheated plenty of times in our lockdown quizzes. So
the allegations flying around already. So you're up against a champion quizzer here. He is the reigning FNR quiz master of lockdown of last year. He's also part of the Western United media team, so he's got a little bit of an unfair advantage. So with the format, we've decided to give you every chance and go hard quiz style. So first questions to you. If you can't get it, Nick Hughes, opportunity to come in and steal a point. Does that sound fair?
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, Caleb's been a fan from day one, so I'm expecting...
Oh, he's talking down expectations. Excuses are coming out.
I'm expecting to be blown out of the water here, but
the pressure's on.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so here we go. Question number 1. Who did Western United play in their first ever friendly match?
Friendly match?
Yes, first game the club ever put on.
Easy peasy. Was there myself, and that's when I made a few friends. George Cross, FC.
There you go. Caroline Springs, George Cross. 1 point on the board already. All right, that one was easy. Now it ramps up.
I did know that one for the record.
Okay. Well, if you knew where they trained, the last couple of seasons, it would be pretty easy. But question 2. Who are the 2 Western United players to have scored a goal in Tasmania while playing for Western United? Let's be clear.
Oh, okay. I'd say one is Connor Payne.
Mm-hmm.
That was one. I've got to... As I said, Connor Payne scored in the game that I wasn't there. I was there for the first game, and you tend to miss more when you actually are in the active. So that first one, I've got to really... how much time do I have? 10-second countdown?
We'll go ad hoc. If you can get it in the next 10 seconds or so, give you every chance. Otherwise, we'll pass it over to Hughesy to even it up.
Yeah, I'll just have to have a stab in the dark. Let's say Lockie Wales.
Lockie Wales is right, and you're in lead 2 points to nil. So Connor Payton scored the winner against Central Coast Mariners in a 1-0, and the next game was 1-1 against Wellington Phoenix, where Lockie Wales got on the score sheet. And
beautiful goal too.
Yeah, it was a very nice goal. Question 3, and this one I'll let you both answer. I'll let you come in on this one. This is the closest to the pin. I'm not expecting you to get it on the dot, but if you do, I will be very impressed. Besart Berisha is the club's leading goal scorer, but how many goals in total did he net in green and black?
Do I go first?
Yeah, go on.
First.
Does it count just A-League competitions?
Just A-League.
too?
Just A-League.
26?
I reckon it might have been a few more. I'm going to say... no. He only played 2 seasons, didn't he? I'm going to say 21.
26 is actually spot on the money. That's a blackjack there,
Wow.
and that is 3 points for Caleb. I might have underestimated him here.
Gee
Some of the
whiz.
questions we took off the table, that's too hard. That's too mean. I should have gone all
I'm
out.
sweating, don't worry, guys.
All right. Question 4. Who was Western United's first ever signing?
It was Panakone.
Panayotis Kone is correct. 4 from 4. Question 5. Which country has new signing Rene Krahin represented internationally?
Internationally? It was... because there was 2. He was born in Switzerland, as far as I'm aware, but he represented Serbia.
I'm going to go to Nick Hughes on that one. That's incorrect.
I think mixed up with Alexander Prijovic. But Rene Krin is Slovenian.
Slovenia is correct. Nick Hughes gets one on the board. It's 4-1. He's off the mark. Question number 6. Outside of Australia, Alessandro Diamanti has played club football in 3 countries. Can you name them?
Well, there's definitely England and Italy, and the other one would have been China.
China is correct. There you go. 5-1. He's smashing this, Caleb. We'll see if he can go a clean sweep through the rest of them. Question 7, and it's Diamanti related again. Famously scored the winning penalty in a Euro 2012 shootout, but against which country and against which goalkeeper did he slot it past?
Ooh. God. I can't even...
So it's Euro 2012 quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal. Yeah, I remember the game. I remember the celebration. It's just... I was more focused on him in Italy. It wasn't Spain, was it?
It wasn't Spain. They actually ended up losing to Spain in the final. They played them in the group stage as well. So they played Spain twice that tournament.
That's where I'm getting confused.
Going to go to Nick Hughes on this one.
I believe it was England and Joe Hart.
That is correct.
Famous Andrei Pilos told the story when Joe Hart was giving him too much lip, so he thought, all right, I'm going to Panenka.
I do remember the penalty.
Everyone remembers the Panenka clear as day as soon as you say it. 5-2 is the score so far. Question 8. Which of these players was not in Western United's inaugural starting 11 against Wellington Phoenix? So I'm going to give you 4 names. You've got to tell me who the odd one out is. Make sense?
Yep.
Dario Yurtets, Brendan Hamill, Scott McDonald, Connor Payne. One of those guys.
Starting lineup.
The starting lineup, match day 1, Wellington Phoenix, 2019.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you those names again?
It wasn't Connor Payne, so you don't have to give me that one.
So Dario Yurtets, Brendan Hamill, Scott McDonald, you've narrowed it down to. One of those players did not start.
Yeah, Dario Yurtets did start.
50-50.
I think it... Backline. 3 at the back. I'm going to go Scott McDonald.
Oh,
Oh, you were so close. You were so close.
Brendan Hamill.
I guess by default, now that you narrowed it down, I guess you're going to say
I
BJ.
promise I was going to say Brendan Hamill.
All right. Well, honesty policy. We'll give Nick Hughes a point. It's 5-3. So he didn't play until round 4, apparently, which surprised me. I think the back line was Gulam, Durante, and Connor Chapman that day. But stretching the memory a little bit. All right. This one's a little bit more recent. Who did Western United beat in their first ever finals appearance? This was an elimination final.
That would have been Brisbane Roar.
Brisbane Roar. They beat them 1-0, and guess who scored the free kick?
My old friend.
So help me out here with the maths, Nick Hughes. That's
6-3, I believe.
6-3. So you've already got it in the bag here. Which defensive midfielder scored twice in a memorable Westgate derby win?
Scored twice. Defensive midfielder. Oh, Victor Sanchez.
Victor Sanchez, of course. 95th minute winner, which sent Roods running down the touchline for the stacks on. And finally, and this one's the most important question because it relates to your shin bone. What does poi bo mean?
Poi bo means, well, there's a few different sayings. It's kind of be happy, live life to its fullest, take every day as it comes.
We'll give you that. And if you want to show us off the tattoo as the grand finale, Caleb.
Going to be a bit awkward to get up here.
Here we go. We're a test of his flexibility. Has he been doing his yoga? He has. The poi bo tattoo, Alessandro Diamanti themed. Fantastic stuff.
Quick shout out to Mason Jake, who also got one with me. So I think there'll be a couple of other boys on the train getting some Western tattoos in the future.
Absolutely. Well, we love to see it. Caleb Trimble, thank you so much for joining us. You've absolutely smashed Nick Hughes in the quiz, so might have to remove that quizzing champion crown from your head.
I didn't get a chance to answer the question, so
excuses
I've been
over here.
by the format.
next time you don't have to make it as easy.
All right. We'll have to give you a sterner test next time. But thank you so much for joining us, and keep the support going for the rest of the year. We love it.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Caleb Trimble from the All Out West podcast, Western United superfan and recipient of a poi bo tattoo. We'll take a short break, and on the other side, we'll preview the Westgate derby coming up here on the Green Room.
They try to open up the Dutch via another route. Iniesta's in the middle all alone. If Fernando Torres can find him, it's stabbed away uncomfortably to Fabregas. Surely now! Surely now! Spain have won the World Cup for the first time in history. Andres Iniesta has broken Dutch hearts.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Cambiasso. This is where Argentina can be very patient indeed. I've watched their youth teams do this. Just play the ball endlessly around the edge of their opponent's penalty area, then suddenly break with devastating consequences. Saviola, Cambiasso. Cambiasso! They've done it! They've done it! And scored a fantastic goal! How many passes did they put together there? You'd need a calculator.
FNR, Football Nation Radio. FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Barrios, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
And we're back for the final time this evening here on the Green Room, the official Western United club show, brought to you on FNR Football Nation Radio by proud club partners Simonds, the great Australian builder. Simonds Homes, I should say, as proudly displayed on the front of the kits. Geez, the kits are good this season. They're always smashing it, the Kappa gear.
We're nice and close to them now with this little makeshift setup. Usually they're a little bit further away, but I can touch it now.
I worry for the kits every time you're in the studio, Nick Hughes, because you're a kit man.
Yeah.
You're an aficionado of fashion. I worry that they're going to all disappear from the mannequins at the end of the night. But
I'll have to make sure I get my hands on a couple from the club at some point.
Oh, fantastic game coming up this weekend. I cannot wait for this. I tell you what, Sunday, 26th of December, that's Boxing Day football. It's like we're in Premier League. It's great stuff. And all the games in Premier League are getting cancelled anyway. So this one, as far as we know, going ahead as planned. Melbourne victory versus Western United. The Westgate derby. So many good memories in this fixture. So many great games. We mentioned the Victor Sanchez winner, the 4-3 ridiculous game last season. Of course, the famous 3-2 comeback as well, where Victory took an early lead inside 10 minutes and then slowly capitulated as Mark Redan's side picked them apart. Can Western United make more history in this one? What's your tip for this based on Victory's recent form? Because this is second v third. This is top of the league stuff.
Exactly. And you said it to Connor Payne when we were chatting to him earlier. You asked him, is this team going to concede a goal ever? And because it honestly doesn't look like it. And there's been a mix of personnel. Leo dropped out 1 week. Nikolai Topol-Stanley's come in. He's done it at centre back. He's done it at left back. The whole structure. Again, we spoke to Connor about his role and the role of the entire 11 in that defensive setup, and it's been fantastic. And it's been such a great turnaround from what was a disappointing season last season defensively. In particular, I think the second most goals conceded across the A-League last season. But, yeah, I mean, both sides in great form. Victory coming off a hugely intense Melbourne derby the weekend just gone. I think we've had 1 extra day or 2 extra days recovery from playing Adelaide on the Friday night. So, but no, it should be a cracker. I think the round 1 game was still, round 1, everyone's always getting back into that swing of things. But now with a few games in between, I think it's going to be a cracker. And Western United now has something to avenge.
Just on the note of the defence, I look at those 2 goals that Victory scored against Melbourne City, and all due respect to Melbourne City, of course. They're the reigning champions and they deserve to be treated with that. Until the crown is taken off them, they are still the reigning champions. But there is no way that this Western United backline is conceding either of the goals that Victory scored against them in the Melbourne Derby on the weekend.
I'm trying to rack my brain. I can't even remember
Jake
the first
Brimmer,
one, but I know
quick
the
free
second
kick.
one. Of course, yeah.
Defence completely asleep, playing Majota on side, letting him through 1v1.
The Calava clearance / through ball.
Yeah, the goalkeeper clearing the ball up the field, a centre-back completely misjudging the flight of the ball and following Robbie Cruz into no man's land and just letting it bounce. Like, that's a coach's nightmare. And then the keeper mistake as well. I mean, you've got to say, letting it squirm under your arm like that. I mean, I think Jamie Young's probably stopping that. So, I mean, it's like John Aloisi said, like, Jamie Young's in good form and it takes a good shot to beat him. He wasn't having any of it when the press pack suggested that Ben Halloran's goal should have counted because the referee didn't play advantage. He said, my player's stopped, the whistle's gone, and Jamie Young's not getting beaten from there if the game isn't already dead. So I don't think he would have been beaten by that Nick D'Agostino shot either. So I think Victory are going to have to create better chances than they did against Melbourne City if they want to break this defence open.
Absolutely. And another thing that that John Aloisi said post-game in the press conference as well was, he was asked about not being able to kill off a game because, we haven't quite been free scoring. But he said, if you score once and you don't concede, then you do kill off a game because you're going to win every time. And that really seems to be the... not so much the focus, but, if you keep a clean sheet, you give yourself a 50% chance of winning rather than a 33% chance of winning, technically.
Yeah.
So it's... And as he said multiple times as well, the attack will get better. Dylan Wenzel-Halls and Alexander Prijovic, whoever later down the line, whoever occupies that number 9 position or whether they do start together, they're both new players. Again, spoke to Connor Payne about a new role or a pre-existing role, but a newer role to him now.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, so everyone's getting used to that structure and those partnerships up front. But no, you're exactly right. I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think Victory have won the last 2, obviously including the big one at the end of last season. But prior to that, Western United had a great record against Victory. So there's reasons for both teams to come in with confidence. Loads of quality players on the pitch, 2 great coaches on the sidelines as well. It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. So this one's at Amy Park, 7:45 kickoff on Boxing Day. I mean, no one's got anything better to do on Boxing Day. Everyone's just lying around trying to recover from all the food they've eaten the previous. That's certainly my experience. Not the Western United players, of course. Connor Payne's driving to his parents to eat, quinoa and kale or something. And
salads only.
But I think Boxing Day football is a great tradition in England. Maybe the players don't love it because it means they can't spend time relaxing and celebrating with their families. But for fans, I think it's great.
Could be worse. Could be the NBA and play on Christmas Day, to be fair. But
then Western United would have to put out a Christmas kit and then I would have to buy the kit, so I'm glad that doesn't happen. It wouldn't be good for my bank balance.
Imagine that. I wonder what Kappa could come up with for a Christmas design.
Well, I mean, you've already got the green, so I think you only need to add a few dots of red and you've got mistletoe all over it. That I'm just putting that idea out there for free.
Sounds good to me.
The dilemma for me is left back at the moment. Is Ben Garuccio back in contention for this week? Are you aware? Or
no, I'm not aware.
Okay, we'll keep that one under our hats for now. But Nikolai Topor-Stanley, he did well against Adelaide, I have to say, but that's not his position. So I think there were a few moments later in the game where Bernardo was running at him that, for a player of his age and his legs, that's tough in the last 20 minutes. I thought he held up really well against it, but that's going to be a spot where Victory are probably going to put someone like Chris Economides and just go at him. So Western United have to be prepared for that. And I liked Connor Payne's situational awareness. I'm sure the bench were telling him to do it as well, but his game awareness to track back and help out Topor-Stanley in that position and sort of almost double up on that flank when in a situation and a stage of the game where Nikolai really needed that.
Yeah, and Neil Kilkenny as well was coming across, again, particularly late on when it does get to that time where, you're more so thinking about holding on for the win rather than going on and scoring another goal. It was interesting to watch the structure from up above in the is it level 2 where the boxes are.
Sort of 1.5.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was interesting to see because it was certainly in the first half. I think in the second half, maybe less so. But it was a bit of that sort of flexible 3 into 4 at the back, sort of in and out of possession, where in possession it looked like it became a 3 with Topo Stanley on the left of the 3, Lacroix in the middle and Tamaki on the right. And then, you mentioned Connor Payne. I guess sort of in possession, he sort of was back to a little bit back to that wing back role and getting up and down. We know those attackers have the engine and the work ethic. When you guys spoke to Lockie Wales a couple of weeks ago, he said, it's a part of his game that he takes a lot of pride in as well. That defensive side of the game. So I think the positive one of many positives for Western United at the moment is that it seems like everyone's just pulling in the same direction, and the squad depth at the moment means that players can come in out of position like Nikolai Topo-Stanley did, and not only just fit in but really play a serviceable role as well.
The structure is strong. Just need to add a few more goals, and suddenly Western United, already sitting pretty in the table, are flying to contending for the title. But early days yet. Titles aren't won in the first 5 games.
For sure, yeah. Neil Kilkenny was speaking on RSN this morning, and he said, we're happy, but it's 5 games in. So you're exactly right. A long way to go, but at the same time, we know you can look back at previous years, previous league tables. There's a trend for how many games you need to win to make the finals. So, if it's a sort of 12, 13 game mark, already a third of the way there. So it's certainly a fantastic start. You want to start a season strong. You want to finish a season strong as well. So this sort of in-between period now, I think, is going to be really important and really exciting to see how we go.
My last question for the night. It's Boxing Day football. We know it's not Christmas Day, but talking about fashions and sideline fashions, who will be the best dressed on the touchline? Will it be Tony Popovic or John Aloisi? Because we've seen Johnny rock the 3-piece before. He looks good in a suit, Johnny, and Tony Popovic is always about the svelte dark numbers as well.
Yeah, he is. John's been looking good in the Peter Jackson suit in the last couple of weeks. I'm liking it.
Money's on that. Do you think he'll have something special for the occasion?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little
carnation or something.
Christmas holly pin or something. We'll have to wait and see. Or maybe he'll be out on the Boxing Day sales in the morning and surprise us with something special. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, we'll get down there to Amy Park. It's going to be a fabulous game. Let's show Victory what Western United can bring, and what fans like Caleb, who's gone to the lengths of getting a tattoo, can bring to the active support. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And just before we sign off, I know you guys had Mark Tocazo planned last week, but didn't quite work out with some technical difficulties. But a massive shout out from the club to Calder United. What a fantastic achievement on Sunday. 4 Nike FC Cup wins in a row. Alex Sinclair doing what she does best as captain, leading from the front with 2 goals. And goodness me, Montana Matthews with an absolute screamer in between them as well. So a big congratulations to Calder United. Certainly very proud of that partnership at the club, and looking forward to seeing where that goes going forward. And hopefully around the corner is an A-League women's opportunity. But just wanted to get that shout out in there because I know you guys missed out on Mark last week. So well done.
Good things happening at Calder United. So I think it's as good a time as any to start looking at what the club's doing in the NPL scene with the partnership with Calder and with the NPL 3 side coming into next year. I tell you what, that NPL 3 junior side is really, really good to watch. And Calder United have set the benchmark in the competition for years and years. So get down and watch them. They're affiliated with the club now, and who knows what might happen in the A-League Women's next year. We might see a veteran like Alex Sinclair finally get her professional opportunity. That would be what a story that would be. It would be incredible. But don't want to put the cart before the horse. But that's I'm hoping and praying that's going to happen. We'll sign off here on the Green Room. We're going to take a little bit of a break over the Christmas period, and we will be back the week of January 10th. So January 12th will be the next Green Room show. Hopefully we can just do a little bit of a tune-up here in the FNR studios and work out what on earth they're doing next door. But, we do apologise for a couple of audio dropouts and the late start tonight. Just a few things out of our control. We're going to get that sorted over the Christmas break, and we hope you see your families, stay safe, and have a fantastic time watching Western United try and continue their run of wins and clean sheets up at the pointy end of the A-League table. It's an exciting time. So stay tuned, and until next time, it's goodbye for now.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Parish, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped the keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room.